Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we are in Wrocław, Poland.
Wrocław is the third largest city in Poland and there are about 638,000 people living here. It's not huge, but it's not super small. We've actually visited the city about 7 years ago, so it's been a long time. We loved it back then, but we're really excited to see what has changed. This is where we fell in love with Polish cuisine. Today we actually don't have that much time. We're also only here for one night, so let's see what we can pack in. We're probably just going to stay in the city center, but let's explore as much as we can.
We stopped at a place called Pan Precel, which seemed extremely popular. There's a massive line here, and we are getting ourselves a pretzel nadziwanek, which is stuffed pretzel. They had a bunch of different types. There was one with salami, one with mushrooms, and I think that we chose one with chicken and dill because it sounded very interesting. Pretzels seem to be everywhere in Poland. Pretty much in every city we've went to, they were selling them. But from what we've heard, these are actually a style from Romania. We've been to Romania before in the past, and I'm pretty sure I remember having these, and these are delicious. So I'm excited to try this. It's covered with sesame seeds on top, and it looks like maybe flaxseed. There's actually big chunks of chicken in here. It's super delicious. I'm just kidding, but it's really good. You can really taste the dill, you can taste the chicken, and there is a ton of cheese in there. I think that this would be really good with like a garlic dipping sauce or something like that, but even on its own, it's amazing.
Apparently this place has been around since 2012 and it's a family-run business. I think they have maybe different branches now, but they're saying that they actually fell in love with pretzels in Romania when they went on a family trip. And that's why they came back and kind of mixed recipes from Romania and Poland, and they make the pretzels in the back every day fresh, and that's why they're soft and delicious and crispy on the outside. And they had all these different flavors for the big sweet ones as well. They had like coconut, pistachio, I think chocolate and nuts and honey and stuff like that maybe. So those look delicious, but we can't have too much food. But let me try this. It tastes similar to a pretzel we had in Warsaw, but this is much better. This tastes so nice. The dough is so nice and fluffy and kind of chewy. We've noticed that there's so many amazing looking bakeries here, and a lot of times there's lines. I actually remember last time we were here, that's how I found out about the amazing Polish donuts, because there was a bakery with lines outside. This time we saw another bakery and it turns out it's actually Georgian. Although this is a Polish video, we didn't want to pass it up because everything looks so amazing there. It's called PURI, and we bought this delicious looking thing, which is, I think, Khachapuri, which is like this baked good from Georgia filled with cheese usually. And in this case, we got spinach and cheese. So let's see. It's delicious. I actually got the cheese. It's kind of like a little bit more like pungent, more sharp, a little bit like feta maybe. Works perfect with the spinach. And the dough is not very greasy. I like this. I think I like the pretzel from earlier better, but this is still very, very yummy.
Not only is Puri the name of this restaurant, it's also the name of the bread itself. So I think you can get a bunch of different types of it, because we've had the normal Khachapuri with the egg and cheese in the middle that you mix around, and then there's this. So I don't know, I guess it's all Puri? A bit confusing. If there's any Georgians out there, let us know. This looks really good though. Let's try it. We ripped it down the middle so that I could get the good part.
So good.
It's really garlicky. It's a little bit earthy from the spinach. It's got this like salty, tangy cheese to it. The bread is really flaky. It's maybe like a phyllo pastry. It definitely tastes like other pastries that we've had before. Pretty much any pastry that we've had in Greece or Turkey with like spinach and feta, it tastes like that. It's really, really good. And yeah, it's definitely not greasy, surprisingly, even though it's so shiny. Pretty good.
This is actually so much nicer than my first bite, because the first bite I only had pastry, which is still delicious, but the filling is where it's at. And I disagree with Brandon. This is better than most spinach and cheese pies I've had. I like how light it is. I feel like I could maybe eat the whole thing and not feel terrible. Yeah.
One of the things that caught our eye when we walked past this bakery stand were these cinnamon rolls. They had a bunch of different types of cinnamon rolls, including this one, which is a black currant cinnamon roll. I thought it was blueberry, but she corrected us when we were there. It looks really good.
Blackberry, but I don't think that's
Blackberry?
what it is. The translation was currant.
Yeah, it's either blackberry or black currant. Either way, it looks super delicious. It's so soft. It's not that typical bready, dry cinnamon roll that you sometimes get in North America. This is ridiculous. It's like a Cinnabon or something like that. It is covered in frosting and the inside is caked with this sugary cinnamon spread. So let's just dig in and try this. That is incredible. I feel like that's almost one of the best cinnamon rolls I've ever had. I've never had a cinnamon roll with fruit inside. So it's super interesting. It gives it this nice tartness in addition to the sweetness from the frosting on top, and obviously big hit of cinnamon as well. This is incredible. And again, it's just really doughy. It's not overly bready or hard. It's freaking perfect. This is so good.
This seems so wet and gooey, almost like it's undercooked. I don't know. I'm scared. That is delicious. But it is so soft because of the jam or whatever. It's all like really moist. I really like the icing because it's not that sweet. Like I feel like the cinnamon one is like super, super sweet. This one is a bit, I don't know, toned down, which I quite like. And this dough is delicious. I wish it was maybe a little bit harder. This is probably the softest cinnamon roll I've ever had. It's still yummy. And it's probably the best one I've had like outside of America. Here at the market square, there's actually the Museum of Bourgeois Art, and it was built between the 13th and 16th century, and it used to be the Old Town Hall, and it looks super cool. I think it's probably one of my favorite buildings that I've seen at like a market square in Poland. It looks so different than any other buildings, I feel like.
It looks super cool. There's like gargoyles hanging off of it. It's in this really cool Gothic style architecture. I think it's 100% the coolest building we've seen in Poland.
Yeah, it looks so old, like literally like you just went back in time and you're standing in front of the Old Town Hall.
Fairy tale.
Yeah. Apparently Wrocław has a bunch of UNESCO World Heritage sites, but apparently I don't think the Old Town is one, which is weird because in Krakow and in Warsaw, the Old Towns were one, and I think this one is maybe now my favorite. I don't know, I keep changing my mind every time I go to a new city. I'm like, oh, this is my favorite Old Town now. I think this should also be a UNESCO World Heritage site.
I mean, it's difficult when Poland is so beautiful. I feel like every time we go somewhere new, we're just like, oh, this place is great, this place is great. Everywhere's great.
It's so nice though. All the buildings, they're colorful, and then there's like some really nice, pretty ones with like old school like faces on them and stuff. I don't know. I like it.
We're now at the Church of St. Mary Magdalene, which was built in 1330. It was actually first built for the German settlers that were living here at the time. And although the church was built in the 13th century, it wasn't completed until I think the late 14th century, early 15th century, where the domes in the bridge up top were completed, which is one of the things that we are here for. This church contains the Bridge of Penitents, which connects the two towers together, and it has an amazing view of Wrocław. So that is why we're here. We're gonna go up there, check out the church. It's gonna be fun.
There's 247 stairs to go up there. We did that 7 years ago, and I remember being really hard, and I'm scared. Let's see if I still got it in me. I'm not so sure.
We were a lot more fit 7 years ago, so this is gonna be a challenge.
Maybe I'm gonna die in the process, but let's see. It's really weird, they made this all scary with all these noises. Like this ghost. Yeah. I don't remember it like this last time. I'm already dead. I can't keep going. Went like 30 steps. We made it. We survived.
It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Suddenly we were already here. I was like thinking that there was way more stairs, but so I guess maybe we are fitter than we thought.
No.
Probably not. This was actually $450, so what, 18 zloty to get up here? A little bit expensive, but I think you should do it. You get like this amazing view and a little bit of a workout after some heavy Polish food.
So as we said before, this bridge is known as the Bridge of Penitents, which it gets its name apparently from a legend that goes along with it. It's also called the Witch's Bridge. I guess that's the direct translation maybe from Polish. There was a story that goes along with this bridge. This girl named Tekla, she was very vain and all she cared about was herself and looking pretty, and her family was sick of her, so her father cursed her, and one day she got kidnapped and she got, I don't know, I guess forced to stay in this bridge. And she had to just sweep it the whole time and she couldn't get away. She was locked up here and she became old and ugly like an old witch or something like that. I don't know, it's a weird story. When I was Googling this beforehand, I didn't hear any kind of story like that, but when we were doing the walk up here, they had a plaque with the story attached to it. So I don't know if they made that up. I don't know if that's the real story or not, but it's pretty cool. And also it has one of the little dwarfs here, and it seems like people rub her and give her money to sweep up. I guess that's a tradition.
So that's the Tekla?
Yeah, that's
Dwarf?
Tekla. She's right there. We'll have to give her money.
The story ends like that the witch comes back and then she's gone.
Oh, really?
So I guess
Maybe she
that's
was
what
turned
happened
into a
to her.
dwarf.
Yeah.
Maybe we have to pay her so she doesn't curse us too. So one of the coolest and most fun things about Wrocław is that they have these little dwarves or gnome sculptures all over the city. There's actually over 400 of them apparently at this point. But the first one was actually placed to commemorate the Orange Alternative, an anti-communist group from the 80s in Poland. And apparently their signature or their tag used to be a drawing of a gnome or a dwarf that they would put all over the walls. And apparently I think there's still a drawing that you can find somewhere in Warsaw that it still exists today. It has a plaque over it and everything, but we actually didn't see that. So because of some initiative from the mayor of Wrocław, they actually decided to start making all these little statues. I think the first 5 were made in 2005, and then it just blew up since then. And now, yeah, there's hundreds of them all over the city, and it's a fun little game that you can play if you're here to see who can spot the most. And we actually have one with us right now. He's holding out a ring. He wants us to get married. Look at him.
You want to get married to him?
Yes, yes.
I think these dwarves are really cute, especially because they're usually like right next to businesses and they're kind of doing activities that are related to the business. For example, that old dwarf was holding the ring and that was right next to a jewelry store, and then I don't know, sometimes
I've seen some holding coins next to ATMs. I've seen some holding a laptop next to an electronics store. So they seem to be themed, as she said, around whatever local businesses are there, which is even cooler.
Yeah, or some of them they're just like painting and doing all sorts of things or relaxing.
And there's not just men, there's also women.
Yeah, because we're all equal.
We are now at a place called Stary Młyn, Pierogarnia, and we are here for, obviously, pierogi, but not just any pierogi. We are here for baked pierogi. Now, this was something that we fell in love with, I think, 7 years ago when we came here to Wrocław the first time. We also had them in Poznan, Anya had them in Gdańsk, and we are just absolutely in love with them. It's been literally years since I've had them, and I've been dreaming about them ever since we came back to Poland. So I'm ready to get this dinner started.
So we got some drinks, and when I looked at the menu, I couldn't say no to this mead. I haven't had any mead in a long time, and although this looks like it's maybe hot, we actually got it cold with ice. Let's try it. I don't know what type this is, but
We're not mead experts.
it's delicious. It doesn't taste super sweet. It almost tastes a little bit like sweet tea. I like it though. It doesn't taste very strong alcohol-wise, because I mean, this is a huge cup. I was surprised. Like, It's yummy though.
We've had mead in a couple different countries, including a couple different places in Scandinavia. We had it in Sweden, I remember for sure, when we went to a Viking restaurant. Pretty cool. Let's see how this compares. I disagree. I definitely think it tastes a bit boozy. You can definitely taste the honey. It's nice and sweet, but it's not too sweet. I feel like some of the honey beers that we've had have been even more sweet than this. This is really nice, delicious, and refreshing. And of course, if you're in Poland, you have to get the kompot. So we get some kompot as well. Not sure what this one is. Obviously, it is bright red, so I assume some kind of wild berry, strawberry. Ooh, that's really nice. I think it's raspberry. That's really, really good. Delicious and refreshing.
That tastes so good. I think it's better than the one we had in Krakow. It's like a little bit more syrupy. I like it. I wonder if people drink this hot as well, because I think the meat would be also good if it was hot. So we got a little starter, and I'm excited about this because I almost was gonna order this, and this is lard with bread. This bread looks delicious.
I don't know if it's lard. I thought he said bean.
Obviously this is lard.
Is it though?
Yes, this is lard. Maybe the name in Polish is similar to beans.
I don't know about that.
This bread's delicious. I think I just saw a wasp going into a meat. But I guess sharing is caring, right? This is yummy though.
All right, let's try these beans, which, as I said, I'm pretty sure that's what the waiter said the first time. Yeah, obviously it's beans. I only thought that it was, what is it called? Smalak, the pork lard thing. It looks very similar, but it's a fake. It's beans, but it's really good too.
It looks like vegetarian lard.
Yeah, maybe that's what they give to the vegetarians when they come to Poland. I don't know. Our baked pierogi have finally arrived, and we are super excited to try these. They look just as delicious as we remember. These ones are a vegetarian option, actually. They have a bunch of different vegetarian options, and this one comes with cabbage and mushroom. We also ordered it with a side of, I think this one is the garlic sauce, and we got a couple different other sauces for our other batch. Nice and crispy. Let's cut one of these bad boys open. They almost look like empanadas or whatever, which is very interesting. Honestly, I feel like going hands is a lot easier, so I think I'm gonna do that. All right, this thing is stacked, but it's also got a really thick breading around it as well. Let's give it a dip. Those are so good, just as good as I remember, but I'm even more excited for these meat options. As much as we love to get a vegetarian option every now and then, these ones are gonna be even better, but this is incredible. Crispy, flaky, a little bit sour inside, I think, from the cabbage and earthy from the mushrooms. This is freaking delicious.
That is so delicious. The garlic sauce is actually also quite sharp, like quite strong. I really like that. And these are just so yummy. I love the filling, and these actually seem quite hard, but they're not. They're actually quite soft on the inside. And yeah, I really like the dough. And what's quite interesting is that we've actually been in Poland for 3 weeks, and this is the first time that we eat baked pierogi. Although we thought that you can get them everywhere, but somehow we couldn't really find them in Krakow and in Warsaw. Or at least it wasn't like obvious, and most pierogi places didn't really have them. So I'm kind of curious, is this a regional thing? Because we've had them in Wrocław and in Poznan before, and at this restaurant, if you open the menu, this is kind of like the main star. So yeah, I don't know. Is this just from this region? I don't know. All I know is they're delicious.
So now we are moving on to the meat baked pierogi. And I think we got 3 different types. We got one that has lamb, one that has pork, and I think one that has smoked bacon and cheese and potato. So I don't know which is which. They seem to have like these little maybe labels on them, but I don't know what the hell that means. So I'm just gonna pick the first one. Let's see, which one is this? It's a mystery.
Ooh, I know.
Oh, this is clearly the potato, right? All right, let's look at this. Oh yeah, clearly potato, cheese, bacon. I think this one, I'm gonna go mushroom sauce. Oh, and the mushroom sauce is our favorite dip to order with baked pierogi. Super creamy, really smoky. You get that nice kick of salty bacon. This one's really, really good, but I'm looking forward to the other ones a lot, especially that lamb one. That seems really interesting, but this is still really good.
So I cut one in half. I think this one is a lamb one. I think this one has maybe cranberries or something inside as well. Looks delicious. Let's get some dill sauce. That is yummy. You do have this like gamey lamminess at the end. I really like this. And the sauce. These sauces are just so good.
So good. They're what make it.
Yeah, I feel like when you get the other pierogi as well, like the normal boiled stuff, like we had to ask for sour cream, right? I don't know. Here they just all come with these sauces. And I love sauce. And Brandon loves sauce. So, delicious.
Our last meat option is shredded pork with carrot, I think caramelized onions. It smells so good, and I can't wait to try this one. Honestly, this time, let's just go straight up, because I'm sure this is gonna be amazing on its own. That is so good. And it really is so flavorful on its own. I think that all these sauces make a great pairing, but I don't know, they're so good on their own too, but I am a sucker for mushroom sauce, that's for sure. Delicious. All right, I'm gonna try this lamb too. Tastes very lamby, just like Anya said. There's a hint of sweetness to it, but yeah, you really get that lamb flavor. I don't know which meat one is the best. Maybe the pork one, and then this one, and then the bacon one. And honestly, the vegetarian ones are amazing as well. I feel like if you come here, you cannot go wrong. Pick any one. If you're a vegetarian, a meat lover, you will go home happy no matter what.
And the cool thing is that they have a plate where you can mix and match your pierogi. So you can get 3 or 5 and just like pick whichever you want. So it's kind of what we did for one of the plates. So yeah, you can basically like try everything they have. That mushroom sauce, so good.
If you're Polish or otherwise, let us know in the comments, what is your favorite type of pierogi? Do you like the traditional boiled type? Do you like them pan fried? Do you like them baked like this? Do you like sweet ones? Let us know. We love every single variety that we've had on this trip, but the baked ones will always hold a special place in our heart.
This is the end of the video. We really loved being back in Wrocław. It was way too short, but we loved that we got to eat pierogi again, and we'll just have to come back.
We know that we spent most of our time in the city center, but we didn't have much time, so we couldn't go very far, but we still loved it anyways. But that is it for this video, so if you did like it, please give it a like, write us a comment, and by far the most important thing is to hit that subscribe button. But that is it for now. We'll see you all in the next one.
Bye.